What's been going on with Disney over the past month has been extremely bad for them. It's been extremely bad for Bob Chapek. And I can't imagine they thought the backlash would last this long. When a month and a half ago, Bob Chapek says, we respect diversity and we appreciate it, but we don't want to become a political football. Well, very quickly, they got told by the activists that they've hired, by the woke audience that they've cultivated, that no, you have been political and you will be political again or else. So they immediately bent the knee with a rainbow colored gun pointed at the back of their head. And since then, it's been a disaster. We've got Disney World has protests, Disneyland has protests outside.
Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney!
And now Ron DeSantis he's putting out this message. Disney is a guest in Florida. DeSantis moves to end Disney's self-governance. Now, Jeremy, I imagine you probably know more about this in terms of what Disney has and the deal that they've had for the past 50 years to really not be held to the same standards as most Florida residents.
Yeah, I mean, they can basically do and say as they please. Disney is a mega power within the state of Florida in terms of what they bring. They bring billions and billions and billions of dollars. They bring tens of millions of people. Orlando is now the #1 tourist destination in the country to surpass New York a few years ago. It's unbelievable what Disney brings to Florida. There's no doubt about that. And I think this goes back to 50, 60 years ago, the Reedy Creek situation where they basically have clearance to basically self-govern themselves. And they don't have to abide by certain state laws that literally every other company does. And they've got a lot of leeway. And now when they are starting to get involved in state policy, when they claim they're not going to get involved in it, and they finally have just messed with the wrong one. And Ron DeSantis right now, he is absolutely not going to compromise with them one bit. And I think that they need to be looked at, and it needs to be viewed as to what exactly are they doing? Because now you've really overstepped. For the longest time, it didn't seem like they had abused anything. But what if they have been abusing it the whole time? And once you start looking further into that, I wonder what we're going to find out about what Disney's been doing over the last several decades. It will be very interesting. Let's play this clip right here.
And that is what they've been called upon to do. But I am announcing today that we are expanding the call of what they are going to be considering this week. And so, yes, they will be considering the congressional map, but they also will be considering termination of all special districts that were enacted in Florida prior to 1968, and that includes the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
This is the type of mindset that we're dealing with. These blue check marks, they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what's going on. This right here is the most out of touch thing I have ever seen. Dear Disney, please consider relocating Disney World to a new state that isn't actively crusading against LGBTQ people. And I'm sure other states would be more than thrilled to have your tourism dollars and employment opportunities. Walt Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan. It's the same size as San Francisco. Hey, let's just move San Francisco. What are you talking about? It took decades and decades. Like, this isn't like a McDonald's. Let's shut down the McDonald's because it's in a bad neighborhood. That's not what this is. This place is massive beyond belief. Walt Disney himself put so much time and effort and even used ghost companies to buy up all of the land that he bought in the state of Florida. And he did that because of the turnpike and the location and everything it offers. There is nowhere in the world that you could recreate what they have in Florida. These people are so dumb. On the flip side, yes, Disney does bring a lot to the state of Florida, and it cannot be disputed, but they can't move. There's no opportunity for them to move.
The government deciding who's the winner, who's the loser has always been an issue, and it's been an issue historically with companies that have been around for a while. It's not that they just outcompeted with everybody. It's like, oh, well, they worked with the local governments to get in the positions that they have. My issue isn't with the self-governance itself. It's with the fact that everybody else has to abide by said rules or whatever regulations that exist upon businesses, except them in that general area that they're certainly operating in. What Disney in that aspect is an example of when you allow people to essentially do what the fuck they want, what kind of insane, ambitious things that they could do. Yeah, they get what they fucking deserve because they came in with the idea like, okay, well, we're benefiting from from policy that existed long before we came about. If I'm not mistaken, there's nobody a part of the Disney family that even still has a prominent role in Disney as a company. And now they're running into another guy that isn't in a position of power, let's say in the government, who is willing to butt heads, certainly with them.
And I think that some of the backlash you're seeing right now with people being like, oh, are you really willing to lose? Are you really willing for Disney to go? Like everybody said, that's not really an option for them. They can't really do that. But even if it was, don't you think that that's an acceptable price to put on what we're talking about here?
100%.
This is all about not indoctrinating children,
100%.
not
Let
grooming
'em go.
children. I mean, yeah, that's worth it.
I think a lot of folks are seeing that we can do without this fucking company. We're not gonna die. We'll be okay if Disney runs themselves into the fucking ground. The thing about the left is that they're scared that we recognize that, which is why they try to gaslight you. Like, would you really want something like that to go? When it's really just, oh shit, they actually for real and they don't care. If they stop caring about this shit, we're in trouble. We don't have as much influence, and that goes for the people that work for Disney. So even if they could get the motherfucker up out of there, so what?
I can't see